Okay, so today's class, security testing, and I'm going to explain performance testing. Okay, so first of all, security testing and performance testing. Before starting that, you all are know what is authentication and authorization. You all are know what is
Yes.
authentication authorization.
Yes.
Okay, so authentication means nothing but a okay. Those are comes under security testing, and both are comes under security testing, authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization. Okay, authentication means nothing but a, we can call it as registered users. Registered users. Okay, registered users, or we can call it as user is valid or not. Okay, for suppose example, I'm going to provide. So you guys need to use a, we can call it as simply the application, Facebook application. Okay, you don't have account in Facebook, you don't have account. So are you able to use the Facebook application?
No.
No, you are unable to use because of you are not a valid user. Okay, whenever you have the registration account and you have some username and password, then only we can use that particular application. So that is called, we can simply call it as authentication. And other scenarios I'm going to provide. See, authenticated we can simply call it as you are authenticated to some company. Okay, so if we are a registered employee in that particular company, they are going to provide an ID card. Or if you guys are joining any college, they are going to provide one ID card. Okay, so based on that ID card, so you are authenticated to that particular college, that particular institute, that particular we can simply call it as companies. Okay, so or if you guys can see the bank employees also we have an ID card. Okay, so those persons we can call it as authenticated peoples. Okay, and authorization means nothing but a, we can have another name for authorization, can call it as access control also. Access control. So access control means nothing but a permissions. Nothing but a permissions of the valid user. Okay, if you guys have a valid user, so they are going to provide some permissions, so for that particular valid user. Okay, so you guys are joining any company, so in that company they have provided ID card. Okay, but you guys need to enter into the particular cabin. So for that cabin you need a permission. So permission means they are going to provide a access control. They are going to provide access control. There is a access card is there. They are providing the access card. Then only you can able to enter into that particular cabin. If you don't have access in that particular cabin, so you are unable to access that particular cabin. Understand this authentication and the authorization? Guys, clear? Naresh, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one. So I'm going to explain the next topic is we can call it as security testing. As a manual tester, we can do security testing. How we are going to do security testing? Okay. Because of, see, for security testing, we are going to use some tools. We can call it as, there are some different types of tools are there. There is a job tool is there. Okay. And there are some different tools are there. I don't know exactly. So give me 1 second. I'm going to explain security tools. Testing tools. Okay, so you guys can see here we have different types of tools. Security tools. Okay, so these are the security tools. Okay, but you guys need to use these type of tools. So we can call it as penetration testing also. Okay, and we have a job tool. Okay, job tool. This is the job tool. Okay, so job tool we are using for security testing. Okay, so it is scanning. You guys can see. So what is the use of job tool? So it is scanning. So in the application, you guys can see Z-Attack Proxy is a free open source penetration testing tool being maintained under the umbrella of the software security projects. Okay. JAP is designed specifically for testing web applications. We are going to perform web application testing. See, I have used this tool, but see, I am using like in my company, how I am using means there is a my application URL is there. So that application URL, so I'm giving that application URL into that particular tool, the job tool. Okay, after entering my tool, I'm running the tool. Okay, there is a so run option is there. Whenever I'm running the tool what it is doing means, see, it is automatically executing the total application. It is scanning the total application and it is giving the whatever the errors, whatever the security things are there. So those it will give the report as a HTML report. Okay, that tool will generate HTML report, and that report we are going to share with the our developers. See, in the HTML report, it is giving the like high severity and medium severity and low severity. Like this, they are going to provide. Okay, that report will be sharing with the developer, and developers they are going to again fix the whatever the issues we found in the security testing. Okay, this is the way I have used it, but I don't know exactly how to use the security testing. But as a manual tester, we are going to perform security testing. See, per suppose if you guys are using like banking application, I think you all are know how to use the banking application, right? Guys, banking application you guys are using, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in banking application, what is happening? Example one. Okay, banking application user is logging into bank application and user is idle for some time. Okay, then application will automatically logged out. Why? Guys, if you guys are using a banking application, internet banking, okay, you guys are open the internet banking, but you guys are not performing any task. Okay, you guys are not doing anything. Application is ideal. Okay, but sometime what is happening? There is some certain time is there. So within that timeline, the application is automatically logged out. Why?
Security reasons for
Because
security.
of security reasons. If there is a time, if they are going to provide, so maximum it will take 1 minute or 2 minutes of the time. Okay, before that the application should be automatically logged out. Otherwise what will happen? The hackers, they are trying to hack your applications, your accounts, right? So this is the way we are going to do. See, as a manual tester, if you guys are logging into any application, okay, so they have provided some timelines. Okay, they have provided 2 minutes of the time. If the 2 minutes of the time the person is idle, then the application should be automatically logged out. Okay, if the application is not automatically logged out within the 2 minutes, then that should be a security issue. Okay, so this is the way we are going to perform as a manual security testing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and there is one more example. Cookies. You all are know cookies.
Yes.
Okay, so cookies, what will happen?
Data will
What
be
is
saved.
happening?
Data.
Okay, so for suppose if we guys are, see, nowadays we have like mobile phones, we have internet facility. Nowadays we are using in our mobile phone only. So we are browsing the data in our mobile phone only. So go back to 10 years back. Okay, so 10 years back we don't have smartphones. Okay, okay, and we don't have like we have smartphones, but most of the people are not using smartphones. So some of the people's only using, but internet facility nowadays, what is the internet facility we have? Previously, we don't have internet facility, right? And one more thing, nowadays we have Phone Pay, Google Pay, Amazon Pay. There are lots of pays are there, but previously we don't have these things. Previously, if you need to transfer amount to someone else, okay. Now, what do you guys need to do?
Neft.
So you guys need to add the person and you guys need to send the money to that particular person. Okay, you need to use, there is a internet caves. Nowadays we don't have internet caves because of in our mobile phone only we are using the data. So browsing data. But previously we don't have because of there is no internet facility. Okay, so in that time we are reach out to internet caves. Okay, if you guys are browsing the some data, so you guys are doing some transactions in your banking application, but here what is happening? So you guys are not removed your cookies. You guys are not removed your cookies, but once your transaction you have done the your time, so 1 hour time you have spent it on that internet cave. After that, you guys are leaving the internet cave. Then the hackers are sitting on that particular system. Okay, now they are trying to hack your applications. Whatever the application you have used previously, they are trying to hack using cookies. Okay, using cookies. How they can hack? If you guys are using, there is a home page or there is a balance checking page or transaction page. There are different types of URLs are generated. Okay, for each page the URLs are generated. If they are trying to open your account, they are clicking on your balance page. Okay, so in that balance URL, if they are clicking on the balance URL, the page is redirecting to so same balance checking page. Then what will happen?
There are chances that data gets hacked.
So they can easily hack your application. Okay. Now that is the reason nowadays what will happen if you guys are using the browsing data, again you are trying to use the same transaction. What is the previous page we have? If you are trying to click on that URL, then again it is asking please log in again. It is redirecting to login page. It is not redirecting to previously what is the application we have used. Right? If that is navigated to previous page, then they can easily hack your application. Understand? Guys, understand?
Yes, sir. Sir, in real time, like in your project, like what exactly you have done it, sir, like for security testing?
See, security testing, see, we don't know exactly how to perform security testing, but our managers are suggested. I think I was worked on, I think nearly uh, 5 6 years back. Okay, so just
Okay.
they are giving the job tool, so that is a open source tool. Okay, so in that open source tool, so how I am going to do? So just I think I'm going to download.
Is security testing part of manual testing, sir?
No, we
No.
are not doing. So
Okay.
security testers are separate testers are. Okay, so it will take some time, so we can see what is happening. See here what is happening if I'm providing this URL. Okay, I'm clicking on run. Okay, the job tool, what is happening? The total application it is scanning. My application, the total end-to-end flow, it is scanning. Okay, after scanning, it is giving the HTML report. So in the HTML report, so they are giving, so what are the issues they have identified. The tool is identifying some security issues on that particular application. So those issues, high severity issues are there, and medium severity issues are there, and also low severity issues are there. It is giving HTML report to us. Okay, so that HTML report we are going to share with our developers. So this is the thing I have done in my application,
Okay.
but I don't know exactly how we are going to perform.
Okay.
Okay, so once this one is done, I'm going to show. Okay, now you guys are clear with the security testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what is performance testing? Performance is nothing but a to test speed of the
Application.
application. Okay, so in performance testing, we are going to check the speed of the application. Okay, so in that we have different types. We have load testing. Okay, and we have stress testing, and we have volume testing. Okay, so these are the types we have in performance testing. What is meant by load testing?
Like many users at a time, if they come, then it can be load testing.
So, example, I'm giving some example. I think you all are know Manabadi application.
Manavadi.
You all are know Manabadi application. Okay, see Manabadi applications are schools 9. Okay, these are the applications are there. You guys are checking the results here. Okay, so if you guys are written some SSC exams, +2 exams, degree exams, what are the results are there, or otherwise there are some I said. Okay, so these many things we are going to search here. Okay, for suppose if you have written the exam, so there is a graduation exam, you need to check the results. Okay, now you can see if I'm clicking on any link, now I can able to easily able to navigate. But so because of they have developed, so at a time 1 lakh people they can use this application. Okay, so Manabadi they have developed the application. So we don't know exactly so how many users they are going to use, but see our we are assuming like so Manabadi application at a time 1 lakh people they can able to allow. Okay, so when the results are came, what is happening? So huge number of peoples are there. Okay, lakhs of peoples are written the exam, right? Guys, lakhs of peoples are using the results page, right? So everybody they need to check the results. Okay, now what will happen? The load is increasing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if the load is increasing, what will happen?
Application may crash.
Application it is showing 404 errors or it is showing internal server errors. You guys can see in the other centers. So every time they are saying so the server is down. In the banking applications also they are saying servers are down. Why the servers are down? Because of at a time number of peoples are using that particular application. Number of peoples are using that particular application. So that is the reason the servers are down. See, generally, whenever the client they are going to develop any application, so they mention, see, maximum my application. So maximum number of peoples. So in this application, at a time, 1 lakh people they can use. But 1 lakh peoples also we are unable to check at a time 1 lakh. See, now we are going to there is a one application is there. For my application, my customer is saying, so they need to use that particular application at a time. So 2 lakhs peoples. Okay, at a time 2 lakhs peoples they can use that application. Okay, at a time 2 lakhs people they can use that application. But as a tester, how we are going to test means at a time we are not providing 2 lakhs users. Okay, so if I am going to provide 2 lakhs users at a time, then the application is crashing. So in the load means what I am doing, so I'm increasing the load like this. First I'm providing 50 users or 10 users. Okay, after that I'm increasing. Okay, so like this I'm going to increase. Okay, here 20 or 50 users, here 500 users. Okay, if see here 10 users it is successful, then I'm going to use 50 users. If it is successful, then I'm going to try with 500 users. If this is successful, then I'm going to use 10,000 users. Okay, if this is successful, then I'm going to use 1 lakh users. Okay, if this is successful, and finally we are going to use 2 lakh users. Okay, so this is the way we are going to perform load testing. Load means gradually increasing the load on that particular application. So we can check. So if the users are increasing, the application speed is stable or not. Okay, the application speed cannot change. The application speed should be stable. Guys, understand what is load testing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, load testing means nothing but a gradually increase the load on the application, gradually increasing the load on the application slowly, then check the speed of the application. Here the load we can call it as nothing but a data. Load means data. Here load means data. Understand what is meant by load testing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what is stress? What is meant by stress? Guys, tell me what is meant by stress?
Pressure.
Pressure. Okay. So here, if in your company as a human, if daily you can execute 10 test cases, but one day your manager is asking, so you need to execute 30 test cases, then what will happen?
More work due to which we can get stressed.
So see here, our speed is increasing automatically. Once speed is increasing, we are doing mistakes, right? As a human, we can do mistakes, but tool cannot do mistakes, right? Even if you guys are providing, so 10 test cases, they need to execute. If you are providing 100 test cases also, but tool cannot be stress. Okay, see, stress testing means nothing but a, you guys can see, this is the my application load. So I'm going to provide. So this is the speed, actual speed. I need to provide the speed like this. But what I am doing here, I'm going to provide the data, use data on the application. Suddenly increasing the data and again suddenly decreasing the data. Okay, again suddenly increasing the data and again suddenly decreasing the data. Okay, like this, if I'm doing, what is happening?
Stress increasing.
So it is
Decreasing.
happened stress. Okay, but in this way, if I'm going to give the application, if there is a one application, in that application, if I'm suddenly increasing the data and suddenly decreasing the data, but the speed of the application should be same. right?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because see, the application we have developed for this many users. Example, 1 lakh users. Okay, if you guys are using below 1 lakh, then the application work as expected. Like 10 users are using, the application speed is same. But if you guys are using 1 lakh users at a time, then in that time also the application should cannot be changed. Okay, so this is called stress testing. Okay, stress testing means suddenly increase or decrease, suddenly increase or decrease the load on the application and check the speed of the application. Check the speed of the application. This is called security testing. Now, what is meant by volume?
Capacity.
Capacity. Okay. Okay. See, generally, what will happen? This is the my application. So they have provided my application maximum users. They need to check maximum 1 lakh users. Okay. So the client requirement is maximum the application should use 1 lakh users at a time. Okay. But here what is happening? We have developed the application. We have tested that application. We have done the performance testing. Now 1 lakh users, if at a time 1 lakh users are using that particular application, it is working fine. But we have developed one build, right? That build, how much capacity it is accepting, how much data, so how much bulk data it is accepting. Okay. Now we are going to perform greater than 1 lakh also. Okay. So that build, how much capacity that can handle. Okay. Use data we are going to provide. Okay. So till whenever the system is hacked. Okay. 1 lakh users we need to test. 1 lakh users, the application is working fine. If I'm providing, so using 1 lakh 10, 1 lakh 20, 1 lakh 50. So till 2 lakh users. In the 2 lakhs user, the application is hacked. But our requirement, we have met the requirement, but still we are checking. So what is the capacity the application is handling? You guys are understand? See, I'm the user, guys. Okay. I can able to execute daily 10 test cases. Okay. But one day I'm trying. So how many test cases I can execute per one day? So 10 test cases is my target. But I'm trying to execute more number of test cases. Okay. My capacity maximum is 20. After 20, I'm unable to do anything. Okay. I'm checking my capacity. What is the capacity of my application? So here also we are checking the capacity of the application to provide huge number of data. You guys are understand?
Yes, sir.
Naresh?
Sir, can you explain again?
See, for suppose if there is a one application, I'm going to take banking application, guys. If there is a one bank is there, ABC Bank, they have provided one application. They are saying that the customer requirement is this application at a time 1 lakh users, the maximum users, 1 lakh users at a time they can use this particular application. Okay. Now we have tested the application with 1 lakh users. Now the application is working fine. Okay. Now I need to check as a tester. I'm going to check. See, the developers are developing one application. That application, what is the capacity it is handling? So means if greater than 1 lakh users are trying to access that particular application, where the application is hanging, where the application is hanging. Hanging is nothing but a, if I'm trying to access greater than 1 lakh users. So I'm using 2 lakhs users at a time. So in the 2 lakhs user, the application is hanging. That means, see, if greater than 1 lakh users trying to access that particular application, the application can handling the pressure also. Understand? Still any confusion?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to provide check how much data can handle by the application. How much data is handled by the application. Here we apply use data to the system until it gets hang. Okay. So generally this test is performed to check how system is responding to bulk of users at a time. Okay, if I'm going to provide bulk of users at a time, how the system is responding, I need to check. So this is called performance testing. Okay, so you guys are understand?
Yes, sir.
Guys, you guys are understand load, stress and volume testing?
Yes.
Okay, so here what I am going to do, I'm going to provide some examples. The example one, see, as a manual tester, how we are going to provide perform performance testing. Okay, now if there is an application, if there is an application, okay, so my customer has given the requirement, application should load. Okay, whenever user hitting the URL, then the application should load within 5 seconds. Okay, so if I'm going to hitting the URL, guys, this is the URL, I'm going to hitting the URL. Okay, my customer requirement is within 5 seconds, the application should load. This application should load within 5 seconds. Now, as a manual tester, you guys can do. So if there is one application, so or otherwise, I'm going to provide another example. Okay, so application is loading within 5 seconds or not, we need to check the performance of the application. You guys can able to do this, right?
Yes, we can do it.
Okay, and the next example, so as a manual tester, we can able to do these things. And so the next one, if I need to log in into application, then I'm entering username and password, then click on login button. Verify page is redirecting to inbox page within 5 seconds or not. See here what we are doing. So the page redirection. page, redirecting to next page. Okay. So as a manual tester, if I'm filling the username and password, I'm clicking on the login button. So the page should be redirecting to inbox page, right? So the page is redirecting within 5 seconds or not, we can check. Or otherwise, if you guys are clicking on back button, so in the back button also, they are going to provide some example. So within the timelines, the application should, if you can see, I'm going to click on this back button. So how much time it will take? They are going to provide the timelines. So within the timelines, the application is redirecting to back, redirecting to new pages, or we need to check. Okay. So this is comes under performance testing. As a manual tester, you guys need to provide these two examples for performance and these two examples for security testing. If interviewers are asking the questions. As a manual tester, we can do these things. But we cannot use at a time 10 users at 100 users on performance testing as a manual tester. As a manual tester, only one user can access at a time the application, right? If I'm trying to accept the application, two members, is it possible? At a time, I can do two actions in the application.
No.
It's not possible because of I'm the only one person. I cannot do two actions. Okay, so that is the reason we are going to use one tool. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I can see. Guys, I have done long back ago. Okay, so I need to verify.
HTTPS also we need to give.
Okay. We have already done the configuration, right? I think something is happened, guys.
It's response we can check, right? So response. So
Okay, so I can
fine.
do today. So
Hmm.
after that, tomorrow, if possible, we can do. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but this is not required for all of you. Okay. But
Okay.
I'm trying to explain, but it is not required for all of you. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recordings.